Still going live. Okay. Okay, peace. Another session. Last week I was out. Had a little family business to take care of, something simple, no big deal. Okay, just needed to be a father in a particular situation. So everything is just fine. So any questions that I may have missed that you wanted to ask, anyone wanted to ask, please ask. Okay. Peace to the God King.
Did you start already?
Peace, God. Indeed. I just started. I just got here a while ago.
Okay, yeah. Now I was going to introduce my brother.
That's peace, God. Yeah. Peace. Sunez Allah.
Jonathan.
Peace, Jonathan. All right. Anthony. Peace, Anthony.
Peace.
They went to school with me in Cali.
Oh, word? That's
Yeah,
peace. That's
yeah.
peace.
Yeah, he's a professor and he's doing some research on hip hop and public housing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that connect? How would you connect that?
I mean, it's just so much of the music came out of public housing, you know.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So I'm looking at like Queensbridge and different neighborhoods that all have like, you know, rich histories in hip hop.
Yeah, you pretty got all of Queensbridge. Got to go to Brownsville. Yeah.
So I'm striving to connect them with Shamar, Cormegas, his cousin. I'm gonna see if he could get an interview.
Oh, that's peace. That'll work. Yeah.
Yeah, we just passed me through the G. Want to say peace.
That's peace, God. I appreciate that. Word.
Good meeting, man.
Likewise.
And I stay here and I curriculum write, do beats curriculum, and work with at-risk youth. So
Hey, that's peace.
I'm just glad, like I see my man. These are the connections, man. Like
That's what's up. Yeah, because really we deal with what we teaching, but that's what we doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we doing here. We're reaching the low of the low. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. You know. So even when the father got the knowledge, you know, he didn't go to city college. He didn't walk there. You know what I mean? He didn't walk to the colleges. He didn't go to Columbia and say, "Who's a good student? See, I got something to teach you."
Yeah.
You know, he was teaching the thugs out here. You know, so that's peace. You know,
Always.
that's peace. All right.
Peace, G.
All right. Peace, black men.
Peace.
Yeah.
Definitely will come back.
Indeed. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
Come back and get the queen or bring the wife up. You know.
All right. That's what's up.
Appreciate it.
Indeed.
Yeah, G, and the brother that pulled me to the side.
All right.
These two, and then they get down right here. Okay.
All right. So anything that anybody has to share, any questions, Mr. Cole, anything, let me know. I always feel like there's extra questions, and I'm going to be here until 8 o'clock. Okay. There's some people that have been, continually, when I email something, right, and I don't get it out there, they forward the email again to put it on the top of my pile. That is not being rude. That's what I expect you to do. Okay. And I eventually answered them, but it was funny because I'm going to go through it. Maybe the brother listens today. Maybe he doesn't. I just kind of want to confirm. Send me a question about diet. Elijah Muhammad's How to Eat to Live, how I advocated. And I didn't realize that when he was asking me if I advocated, that the question was more of a confirmation as opposed to anything else. In other words, he just wanted to see if I also deal with it, you know? Real quick right now, I'm not sure if my battery is plugged in. I'm not getting a notification here. So if we go out, I'm gonna make another video. I don't know why I'm not. It should be plugged in because it wouldn't be working. But just in case, I'm letting everybody know. Just checking out these battery settings and stuff. If my battery is no good, then this whole live will go out along with my along with the thing. I usually see it here, but it's working, so I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, but if our live video goes out, just wait and I'll get it back on. But I will be here until 8 o'clock. So if it goes out before that time, expect me to get back on with another video. All right, waiting for these questions. If anybody has any questions, let me know. There'll be other things I get into. And I didn't forget what I was going to say right now. Peace, God. All right, let me tell this story anyway. So somebody emails me and asks me a question about Elijah Muhammad's ability to live. And I don't give it the immediate, like, I don't know, 5-star review. I don't know what I'm supposed to give to that book. But, you know, I say it's a good add-on for the nature of how one diets, how one eats, but not necessarily the actual foods. Like, it's not complete. And I give it a quick sentence. Seemed almost like a dismissal for him because he wanted much confirmation. And he asked me about nuts and other things in the diet, just nuts specifically. And I didn't go in a whole thesis about nuts. I eat a lot of nuts. And I told him that I use them. If you're not allergic to them, they are very healthy for you. You can get them, get them as fresh as you can. Raw is the best. It's okay to have roasted, but raw is the best. And if you get them salted, be easy how much salt is in there and everything. You know what I mean? What kind of salt is being used? But the best way, unsalted, raw, if you can. But it's better to just get them in, and David sunflower seeds doesn't count. You know what I mean? But statement. And because I didn't give him the usual detailed answers I usually give in the classroom, which is a 3-hour classroom, 2 hour and a half, endless hours, right? I mean, in my years teaching here, I've taught at least 90 minutes, at least 2 hours every session, average 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? You guys are getting me for about a little over an hour, about hour and 40 minutes, I guess. You know what I mean? But I've been here that long, right? I've been here for the same 2 hours I spend here. So he didn't believe I was Sunez Allah. Like maybe it was a hacked email or something, And it was just interesting. Sometimes when I'm teaching, it's interesting what people expect. People expect the whole answer, and a lot of times I don't want to give you the whole answer when it's really right there with certain things I give you, you know. And so I'm not going to give all this excessive detail in that sense, you know. But I just thought it was interesting, and he found, basically was saying the Sunez that I know teaching, he would never dismiss how to eat to live and stuff. And I'm of course reading this like, who is he? How is he an expert on me? You know what I'm saying? The expert on me, you know. But apparently he was. You know what I'm saying? He's an awesome expert on Sunez Allah. You know what I mean? It's crazy. He's an expert on Sunez. Peace to P.E.A.C.E Allah. Peace to Charles Black. You know? But anybody has any questions, please let me know, man. All right. Anybody have any questions? Charles, Mr. Cole. If you have any questions, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. King, you said, I've always seen fourth degree in the 1 to 40 about those who dwell amongst our people, causing drama. You mean the 1 to 14? You mean the 1 to 14 God? Right? I'm going to assume you mean 1 to 14. You're right. Okay. And a lot of times, like the ones we see sometimes act righteous or noble, expose themselves. Oh, that's the, you said, no, that's the older God. It's the older God. It's all, yeah. You know, that's the best way he can move. So it is what it is. You know, it wasn't some lazy brother just like walking crazy, you know. Whew. How I see that degree in the 1 to 40 is that when the devil came, they didn't have they hadn't refined their abilities. So they only moved with intensity. They exposed themselves quickly because they were too intense. They were all out causing devilishment. You know what I'm saying? And one of the main things was that they didn't have anything to offer the society. Nothing to offer the society, then they get exposed quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, you know. How I see it today, obviously, you know, people still do this stuff. They cause division. They empower themselves by the division. Someone that causes division, tell lies to try to conquer the original man, and all that kind of stuff. Stealing, you know, all that kind of pettiness. Though these are things that put them in the center of command. You know what I'm saying? They're in the center of command, you know? And when they do that, they have given themselves the power that they never had before. You know what I'm saying? They give themselves the power that they never had before. you know, and it still goes on to this day because remember, you know, it's funny. Sometimes people don't know they're weak and they're what? They're wicked. So they don't really know. They don't really know what they're doing. You know, they don't really know what they're doing. They do it effortlessly. You know, they don't. They wisdom knowledge. They don't really see the impact of what they say. Peace, God. I was at the justice, and one of the brothers was telling me that the white supervisor. I wasn't there because it wasn't my day to be at that particular school. Was telling them that, you know, hey, better get on your job because I'll crack the whip. He said it to two brothers, and they was telling him you can't say that, and it still didn't resonate with him. You know, so these are things like there's a lot of encoding, a lot of brainwashing and stuff. I'm not saying like they not devils, but I'm saying that weakness is the first thing. And one of the things about the culture degree is that when they got exiled because they were very they weren't clever. There's an aspect of devilishment that people don't get. When the devil's weak and wicked, a lot of times the cleverness isn't there. What Musa was teaching them was cleverness, though. You know, how to get by, how to give a little and how to get back a lot, you know? And that's real important in the relationships that we are around, the relationships that we encounter, and the way that we need to analyze things, right? We see it all the time, you know? Even people with this knowledge, you know, using it as their own tool and slave to get what they want. But Charles Black, you said wisdom, understanding, all being born to power. The relationship between a mother and a child is the most powerful due to the ability to manifest life. I don't know if I would say manifest life. I would say in many cases further, right? Certainly when the child is in the womb, but if we extend that, it goes beyond that. So there are distinctions within that great mother-child relationship. But a very good answer. How you see wisdom, understanding in that is good. Kasim, what is you said? It's not a question, but it's a brother online consistently asking me about the colored man. Every time I mention the Father united all original people. Let me keep it real, man. The Father was able to unite anyone that was with him. You know what I'm saying? Anyone that was with him. When he was at Madawan, though, they were united in this vision of who he was. And that included mainly, you know, colored people. You know what I'm saying? They bore witness to him being a true and living God. To him taking, at the very least, him being logically able to take on the namesake of being God, right? So that's something right there. You know what I mean? Powerful. You know, I don't know who this person is and stuff, but and you're not telling me that much clues into it. But is he asking you because he thinks that the Father wasn't including a white man, or was, or like, you know, is he trying to insinuate something wrong by not or including? You know what I'm saying? The way the Father taught, he was going to include all of humanity as he was dealing with the truth. But not everybody was going to be with that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody was going to be with that. You know? Charles Black, you added, and also understanding proper ways and actions also help us sustain life. That's right. I see it. King, you said I always related that degree, the degree you was talking about, the culture degree in the 1 to 14, to those situations in this day and time. Like some of those cats that come to class, get mad and fail, become disgruntled, or make rap songs about us. Or incomplete rap songs, about us. Yeah. You know? Man, in the grand scheme of things, that's, when we talk about fails as being a teacher, I don't look at it as his fail only. I look at it as the fails that I have to take as a teacher. You know what I'm saying? How we share with everyone, and his failure becomes a lesson for me, and not the kind of lesson I'm saying never again and this and that. Don't worry about that. There's going to be plenty of more people that might learn this and use it to their own gain, or disrespectfully, or be exposed that they just wanted to be used as a tool and a slave to their desires. That's going to happen no matter what, because when you get this knowledge of self, because even though they are basic facts about our reality, they are something that, once it is learned, give people power in a society that doesn't have it. Right? So that's important. Yes, please, God. Yeah. All right. All right. Raz King, peace. King, you said 793rd, peace. King, you said, do you think that goes to show with some that knowledge is dangerous in the wrong hands when they don't seek it for genuine reasons, only to puff up their ego? Absolutely. But that test is very difficult. You know what I'm saying? And when you teach a lot of people, as I have, you could do these tests, but then they end up being part of your intuition, where you could see certain signs, but they're not proof. And so you have to let it play out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or else you'll be obsessed with making sure who's not getting it, as opposed to who you're putting the energy to give it to. And that's a problem too. That's a bigger problem to me. You know? Kasim said people are quick to memorize things but don't do the knowledge in order to understand it. Yeah. I find that this concept of knowledging something, let's say memorizing it, learning it, having it, and then that transition of development from wisdoming it to understanding or revelation of its purpose, as I call it, that is something that I think many people don't really know what that means, and can't really explain it when they experience it. All right. Let me know any questions, okay? I am definitely paying attention, but I'm just catch up on some materials to work. On some of the work I'm doing. It's been a long week. I'm adjusting to not a lot of new work and everything, so I want to make sure that sometimes when I don't answer an email fast, because I want to answer it properly. If I answer it quickly, doesn't mean it's the last answer. It just means my way of letting you know that okay. King, you said I've seen people go years with knowledge and never get the understanding like they should. Yeah. See, the thing is, guys, right? That can chew you up. If instead of thinking about it, people go through the years with the knowledge and don't get the understanding they're supposed to. See it like there's not supposed to everybody get the understanding. The majority of the people that are given this knowledge, they're supposed to just know it. They're supposed to just have it though. Fun facts: 1 + 1 = 2, but not all of them are going to be a mathematician. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with it like that, then it's okay that people don't really get it on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that's how mathematically could this be otherwise? It has to be. You know what I'm saying? You said I see people not have every single thing memorized, but have way better understanding because their intentions were truly pure. Again, this also sometimes as well It's not just the person, it's the way that they were taught. They were taught to load it all and not really walk with it. Walk with it piece by piece. The point of learning it set by set, math, alphabet, set by set, is for that just reason, so that you will learn it in a proper fashion, I should say. Peace, God. I'm good, God. Yeah, man. I had to go get my daughter at the last minute, so I had to rewind, and I was already walking here. Yeah, and Peace, God.
I know last Thursday you ain't come, so I was like, this Thursday for sure.
Yeah. That was a little bit of a very slight emergency. I just needed to get my daughter real quick, and at the last minute. But and she had to go to school, so there's no way I could have came here with her. Were you able to check the email I gave you?
Yes.
Okay.
I read everything. Nah, it's interesting. Very interesting. I like it a lot.
Okay,
I've been
good.
trying to incorporate it in my life. I even got a resistant band. I
Oh.
can't remember the 5th workout, so I know I think I just remember it might be healed. I know it's push-ups, resistant bands, abs, squats for sure.
Right, then your calf muscles.
And the calf muscles.
Calf lifts, yeah. You hold them as long as you can. Get down, hold them. You know what I mean? Because some people just do them rapid. No. Hold them. Get the real burn.
All right.
Hold
it up or down?
No, up. Yeah. You release down, then you hold them up. And the thing is, if you have weights on the same arm as the same leg, it'll help you if you have them.
Oh, we do one leg at a time too?
Yeah, always one leg at a time. Yeah, always one leg at a time. So your other leg, you're on one leg. So one leg should be in the air. You should be holding on to something. So I'll be holding on to something. Maybe I'll lift this leg is up in the air, and this one is flexing, and I'm holding the bar, the dumbbell. You know what I'm saying? So that'll give it the flex, I usually go with like 20 pounds or something like that.
On one side? Would a putback help? Like if I just put man puts in putback too? Or not?
That could help.
Or if I just hold
Maybe not as directly, but maybe if you hold them with that same arm, if you hold the bag, because it'll put the pressure on there. Yeah. But that's an add-on that'll work for something, definitely. Yeah, but I'm glad that you saw it though and everything.
Yeah.
Again, it's a lot of material. So as you decide to say, listen, I'm gonna deal with this supreme math. I'm gonna start memorizing it. It's up to you to tell me what you got, your questions, whether you memorize enough. I'm not gonna be bothering you. Be like, hey, did you memorize and stuff? You're a grown man. And you have the right to get it, but you definitely don't have the right for me to be, babying you through it. You know what I'm saying? That's for my other, young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I understood. I read the math.
Okay, yeah. So the first step is to memorize the supreme math. 1 goes with knowledge, 2 goes with wisdom, until 0 cipher, right? And then you try to explain it, but you try to get your own understanding based off the piece I gave you. I gave you a plus lesson. It's not to memorize what I think about them. It's to see what I said about them and why I said them. There's some history in there, how they developed, what they mean. And then, you develop your questions. Like, you should be thinking like, well, why does knowledge have to be first as opposed to being second?
Yeah, I wrote something. It was like a paragraph I got in my book right now. And then I try to connect each one as if it was like a sentence going in.
Excellent. Yeah. That's an excellent exercise to do. And that's Maney here. You said, peace, God. I'm listening at the labor site right now. I'm just a newborn at the moment. Email me since you're working. Email me when you get a chance. You'll be able to see this stream. My email's in the description. I'm putting it here in the chat. Email me so we can build, okay? Because when you say newborn, that means something. I don't know what you mean by that. So you want to definitely connect with me and stuff, so that way we can build. All right. All right. So everybody, I'll be here till 8 o'clock. Okay, and then I'm out. One of the main ways that I break up supreme math, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Three basically chambers, right? The 1, 2, 3 I say is the mental. It's the stuff that people don't see. You meet somebody, you cannot tell just by looking at them the knowledge that they have. You know what I'm saying? If you tell that they are refined, if you see that certain things, it's the way they live in their culture is what you're seeing. Right? So, like I always say, you don't see people's knowledge, but you do see their wisdom. You see their ways.
And 4, 5, 6
So
is what you
1, 2,
see.
3 is the mental. I'm gonna go through them. 1, 2, 3 is the mental, right? That actual fact, that derived idea that is actual fact, true, to build with, to create, is used. Wisdom, the usefulness of the idea, the truth that you have uncovered. Then you reach a revelation of purpose, though. You see its purpose, you see an insight to it that is deeper. That is your understanding. That's all mental. Then you get to that's also that bracket, I call it the inner. Okay? It's the inner. The 1, 2, 3 is the inner. Right? Then we have the outer, the 4, 5, 6. Okay? Once you deal with your culture, you are living out your culture. That means you are living out your understanding. Every man's culture is a collection of his expressed understandings. Right? So that is something that you can't bring back. You live out your culture, you can't say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying? You did it already. You're living out your culture. That's outward. So the outer is the 4, 5, 6. You live out your culture, how strong it is, how powerful. That's the power of it. What it leads to is the position it brings all things to, the equality. That's why I call it the proper position. The equality is what it brings out all to. All right? The 7, 8, 9, though, is what I call the fruit. No matter what you do, you're still God. You're always the God. It doesn't change. When you build and you say 7, 8, 9, it's what I call a reaffirmation of rejuvenation, right? In other words, you're reaffirming yourself with this reality you brought forth to equality. You reaffirm the self. You are once again showing and proving that you're the true and living God, right? 7, God. You always was God. So when you get to God, it means that you were what? Able to what? Reaffirm, reestablish yourself, rejuvenate yourself in your ways and actions, and reach that level again. Once that happens, though, once you are reaffirmed, you are also what? Building and destroying. You are what? Destroying what once was in this universe with something you were building anew. And it doesn't always negative. It means that the past no longer, that what you are doing now is what? Making what once was the past with something new. I make a book, I make an album, I create something. The world before did not have this creation. So I have destroyed the reality of what once was without my creation. Now I'm building with it. It's completely different now. These little things are stuff that we don't think about how profound they are. But they are. Once we do that, we build and destroy, we reach a what? An elevated fulfillment, born. Right? Something is fulfilled. Ourselves, the reality around us, though, and now we see it all played out. Because of that, though, we are able to deal with knowledge, once again, new knowledge, and add on to the cipher. Knowledge, add on to the cipher. And this process, and now endless process, continues. When we build on mathematics, we are breaking down something that unnaturally never is broken down in parts and analyzing it in their parts. There is no such life, though, where knowledge breaks and then there is wisdom. Where wisdom breaks and then there is understanding. These are only points of analysis, though, to see the depth of how creation is created, how you are being as creator, right? So when we deal with mathematics, the first we do is trying to understand this as the process, just like you said, that one sentence, that's what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
But we're also trying to see our principles, like the best example, easiest. We don't wisdom knowledge, right? We don't speak before we know things, right? Now that's a truth, but it's also a principle, right? We live by that principle. We analyze ourselves for those moments when we want to speak, but we don't really know, so we stop. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times getting this knowledge, though, knowledge yourself, you end up start speaking less. You know what I'm saying? And having more profound results. Peace to the God Infinite Mind. Peace to Nyoki Cockrell. Peace. Any questions you have? Infinite Mind. Peace. You said wisdom, understanding, all being born to power, refinement. I see it. Iman. Peace. Peace to the earth. Alchemy, the transformation, transmutation of an art. Right. Build, destroy. That's really what that is. It's a reality of this. Reality is alchemy. Olu, peace, man. Peace. True self, peace. All right. Any questions that people have, whether you ask it now, ask it, all this counts. And like I said, trust me, you email Sunez97, that's me. Okay? That's me. Like I said, I was saying earlier, I gave a brief answer to an email that I saw. I didn't have a chance to answer it before, and I just wanted to make sure that it was answered somehow. And I answered it too fast, and he thought I wasn't Sunez. It's like the Sunez that I know would answer it really in depth. And I'm like, unfortunately, Sunez has actual life, though. You can't answer everything with long, essays and thesis statements, which I would love to do all the time, But when I answer them, truly see that they are answered. Like he asked me about nuts, and I said nuts are great. If you're not allergic, eat them raw and unsalted, the best. As fresh as possible. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the New York area or anywhere, Trader Joe's has the best deals on nuts if you're going to buy nuts and seeds, right? There's nowhere else you're going to get walk into a store in New York, though, where you're going to get a pound of cashews for $8. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere else you're going to go. And actually be fresh and not be on that shelf for forever, because nuts, when you buy stuff like Planters and things like that, you're eating nuts that have been fried. They're in cottonseed oil, other bad oils that are very synthetically made. So people say like sesame oils and things like that. Those are healthy. It's not that the seeds aren't healthy, but seed oils are made very processed, so they end up being a totally different product as an oil. It's not a natural thing. And when you buy nuts in the bodega, or you just buy them in the bag, and you're not looking at how fresh they are, they oxidize. Oxidation is the rusting of things. Oxidation is what happens with food. And that's why they're fried. That's why they're salted heavily. It makes it last longer. But those aren't good for you. You know what I mean? So we should have salt in our diet, though. You know what I'm saying? I actually was going for a long time, without any salt at all. And I found that when I use salt and, properly, there was much more vigor, absorption of the nutrients. So there's got to be a balance to the way you use it. You know what I'm saying? But salt snacks and things like that, that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those, treat everything like a treat and only on certain occasions and stuff. You know what I mean? But nuts and seeds are great because they can be your treat and be healthy at the same time. I hear people they go, "Oh, I don't eat nuts and stuff. It makes you fat and stuff." I'm like, "Yo, look at what else you're eating. And you know what I'm saying? That's what's getting you fat, because your body good. When you eat I stay at around 10 to 11% body fat. You know what I'm saying? And I eat lots of nuts and seeds. So I eat, my father used to always see me and be like, "I don't know how you're that lean and cut and you eating all these nuts and seeds." And it's like, if you're doing the right things, they're good fats for you. You know what I'm saying? They're good fats for you. Now, mind you, if I wanted to get to 7% body fat and things like that, then I would be cutting everything. But that ain't really my goal. You know what I'm saying? That ain't really the goal. You know that they can, my abs can be seen, so I'm good. You know what I mean?
Now,
Right?
I was getting that. That's what I've been getting. That and the freeze dried fruits.
Yeah. You know, dried fruits without sulfur dioxides and coloring. Freeze dried is the best, but both are fine. You know, I get both. I get freeze dried and I get dried fruits. You know what I'm saying? And they're the best. They have a lot of fiber. They have nearly all the nutrients. Freeze dried is about 90+%. Regular dried fruits is about the 70 to 80%. So it's really great. You know what I'm saying? And if they're done well, like dried mangoes, they're sweet they're sweet and they're great. You know what I'm saying? You get into that. You know what I'm saying? Find regular fruits that you're gonna eat regular, because the regular eating fruits are good. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always eat a lot of apples, grapefruits, raspberries, blueberries. You know what I'm saying? And I try to treat myself every now and then, once a week and stuff, to like a whole bowl of berries and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's always good to add these diverse things. You know what I'm saying? And they add on. If you're getting dried fruits that are just done with sulfur dioxide, though, you might as well just eat candy. You know what I mean? Just eat candy. You know, if they add sugar to it, that you really are eating a candy. You know, right? So something that's super healthy can be turned into a basic candy very quickly, and that's the slickness of this. You know what I mean? That's the slickness of all this stuff. And it's too bad, man. I used to go Trader Joe's, for example, used to have a lot of different types of dried cherries, but most of them are filled with sugar. You know what I mean? That's why like people eat dried cranberries. Not a good thing. Those are almost always with sugar. You know, and it's too bad because cranberries are really great for you. They're really great for you. But when you have cranberry juice, that's just sugar. They add so much sugar to it because it's a very sour fruit. You know, it's better if you get your own cranberries, blend them, and if you're gonna put sugar in it, put some honey, put something really good in it. You know, peace, God. You know, but we got to be very particular. You know, food costs a lot of money now. So instead of just buying cheap food, buy really quality food that's gonna last a long time and do a lot for you. You know what I'm saying? Do a lot for you. You're having a big meal, get into the quinoa. You know what I'm saying? A $4 bag of quinoa. I'm saying at Trader Joe's would be $4, which is a price you won't get anywhere else. That bag of quinoa will give you 4 servings. Good amount, big 4 big bowl servings. And I like the quinoa better than, let's say, brown rice, which I have on the weekend. When I'm working out heavy, the quinoa is filled with protein, but a very light meal. Doesn't go down heavy. You know what I'm saying? When I want to bulk up on the weekend, then I get the brown rice. But there's all types of rices to try. You take a trip to Chinatown or other places, you got black rice, white rices, wild rices, and all you need to do is learn the water ratio of how to cook these, and they'll taste great. People can't cook wild rice. Just learn the ratio. You know what I'm saying? The wild rice ratio is about 3 cups to 1. It's a big ratio. It's a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? You just learn it and you have great tasting rice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just learning ratios. One good investment though is a rice cooker, because you can make your quinoa, rice, even steamed vegetables in there. You know, you could do all that in there. You know, be careful how you cook stuff. You know what I'm saying? Understand that when you're putting stuff on a stove and you think you're sauteing, but you're getting that thing brown and near black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever tofu, tempeh, and you getting a tempeh brown, it's like, this is healthy. When you brown things and you cook them like that, you're also causing carcinogens, heterocyclic amines, all types of stuff. So know what you're doing with the food. You get a healthy bread, you brown that toast till it's crispy brown. Understand that you've got carcinogens in there, right? So understand everything. Even if you eat it, I need you to understand everything that goes into what you're eating. You know? Why? So you could say yes. So you could go around and say, listen, Sunez is ruining my whole diet here. I feel guilty with every damn thing I put in my mouth. It's not That's not why I'm doing it. It's because you should be accepting of knowing all the things that are happening so that there's no mystery. You feel bad and say, listen, this diet seems perfect, but I'm not getting the results I want. Instead of thinking like, oh, I don't know what to do, you're like, there is more to do. Instead of just being lost. That's like when we go around, you've got to get nutrition. When you can afford it, you got to get your vitamin C powder, B complex vitamin with all the B complex. You should get some vitamin D, high dosage, right? Daily, I take at least 20,000 units of vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing lots of stuff, I take it even in the sun because I'm working heavy. Zinc, right? Stuff that you should use, like know what to do when you're about to get sick. All these times I'm about to get sick, man, I have like one day where I get to watch TV. You know what I mean? I get to watch the apps, all these apps and movies that my brother got. And the next day I'm good.
What?
So take note of everything. Take note of the things. You think, oh, I don't need it. My diet is good. Do you realize the pollution that we're around? You know what I'm saying? You get on a train, though, and you smell the fumes of the cleaning materials they use. Those are causing oxidants in your body. Got to deal with that. That means that this whole world is polluted, though. So you got to be on point to always be doing something for your body that helps it. You're eating foods, grains, seeds, fruit, anything. Know that even organic, everything's being affected by Monsanto's Roundup and all these things that they put in the soils. It affects the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? It makes organic fields less potent as well because everything's connected. You know, you say, look, that's my land, but it's all the same. It's all near. You know what I'm saying? So now the microbiome, because that's what the Roundup kills. It kills all of the microbiome that's in the soil and everything. Stuff that gets into the fruits and stuff that helps your body have enzymes to work everything. So learn how to deal with fermented foods. The tempeh, great protein. Tempeh is a fermented soybean meal that is mixed with different grains, millets, usually millet, brown rice, bulgur. Sometimes they put bulgur, other things, right? So it's super grain. It's literally a multi-grain, high protein, fermented product. Peace, God.
Keep that word out.
Indeed, God. So you learn how to feel the body with the fermented foods. Longest living people, Okinawa, Japan, all the places in Asia that they eat a lot of fermented food. Now, I'm not asking you to have stinky tofu, which is fermented and it literally has its name. You know what I'm saying? Or kimchi, which is definitely acquired taste because it got like the fermented smells. You know? Even kombucha, when people have kombucha, which I love kombucha, it tastes vinegary. Now, to help everybody, most kombucha, they really are using vinegar because it's cheaper to make the product. Get yourself GT Dave's Synergy. That's the kombucha that I get. That'll taste. They make a kombucha is a fermented, what they call a SCOBY. Let me tell you what the SCOBY stands for. It's like a fermented living enzyme that they make. They call it a SCOBY, and I'll tell you what it stands for. And I'm only telling you guys because this is my favorite drink. You know what I mean? Right? So it's symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Sounds disgusting. But they make a SCOBY and they let that SCOBY live in a batch of black tea. Then the black tea becomes something over time and they sweeten it with a real juice. Not pasteurized juice, real fruit juice of a kind. The GT Synergy one is the best one because they really make it on point. And man, I've been drinking that since they started. I've been drinking that since 96. You know what I mean? But if you ever want to try it, though, you know, get a fruit flavor that you like, that you know is going to be good, and, you know, mess with it.
Does the flavors matter? Because I began like the elderberry and stuff like that.
No. Oh, yeah, elderberry's great. Sometimes the fruits matter depending on what potency of the fruit. So, like, the elderberry is great. Elderberry is great when you're feeling sick. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, a lot of times they sell that elderberry flavor in the winter. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you ever get concentrated elderberry juice and just take shots of it It's great in the winter, you know. And to me, it tastes great. It's one of my favorite berries. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you a question about the math. Does the math always entail to eating every time at all times?
At all times. You know what I'm saying? So we're not building with saying like, yo, it's 7:15, God, knowledge, power, things like that. That's super religious. You know what I'm saying? But we're always dealing with how we're seeing things mathematically. So we look at the things by the principles of the degrees and by the way that we're seeing life. You know what I'm saying? We're focusing on what today's mathematics being wisdom, understanding. So we are focusing a little extra on the idea of our ways and actions merged with our understanding and how that produces a power. When someone says, I'm going to literally take action on my understanding, they wielding their power. You see how that works? And now we think about it. Well, you know what? I'm going to use this understanding I have and actually bring it out there to show my power today.
Why is the power? Because 2 + 3?
Right,
5?
right. Because how we deal with the day's mathematics, we born them, what we call born them. And we add a 2 and a 3 and we get 5. Right? So we make a statement of insight. It's to show how they're all related, how they all blend together. That's why we do this exercise. You know? Yeah, the cotton candy grapes, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But they're just different levels of sweetness, you know? And remember, you could breed all types of grapes and stuff, all types of fruit. That's been going on, and it's not really like the grafting like people think. But I just like regular black. I like black grapes, you know, dark purple grapes. I like, you know, those are the type of grapes I like. I like all grapes. There's very few fruits that I won't eat if you give them to me, you know. But if I buy grapes, it's usually going to be the darker grapes. Green grapes are good too. But I think I stopped eating green grapes, not because of me, but because my daughter likes green grapes. So I give me some green grapes, and then she's eating the whole thing. So she doesn't like the dark grapes. So there you go. Now you know why I'm buying the dark grapes. This is mine. Yeah, this is mine. You got your own grapes. But that's how it is when you have kids. You know what I mean? That's how it is when you have kids. You know, they like a certain fruit. You end up feeling guilty eating the fruit. You know, so she loves sliced mangoes. Word is behind. The only type I'm eating sliced mangoes is when I'm not with her. Because if I'm with her, I defer. I'm like, yeah, here, give it. You know. But there's so many other fruits, you know. But she doesn't like dried fruit, so she's not touching my dried fruit. So you know, it's always something. You know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing, you know, when you get your child eating something healthy. You know what I'm saying?
True. Especially nowadays.
Yeah. You know, I raised my daughter very uniquely. I raised her vegan from birth. I never gave her sweets, and so she doesn't like candy and won't eat candy.
That's different. I don't
You know?
think that people think.
Yeah, I haven't met a kid like that. She still doesn't eat candy at all.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen her eat though is some baked where she was there baking it with either her mother or in school, like an oatmeal cookie that they made. You know, seeing the ingredients going in and stuff. But she won't. You know, she has never asked me for cookies. Never, not once. So it's easy. It's easy. My oldest daughter is a chef, baker.
Yeah,
so I don't really buy, I don't buy pastries.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps me in shape. I don't buy pastries unless she's making them. You know what I mean? And I don't ask for them. She'll make them for me, you know, when she has time. And my youngest don't even like candy. So these are the secrets to getting some abs, a little bit of ab work. You know what I mean? Just seeing how far you could go. But we got to have foods that we like to eat, though. And there are foods that are sweet. There are foods that are tasty that you can have. Let's say if you're dealing with salt, I was talking about salt, you want to balance. You're putting salt in too many things. Have your salads, though, with a little bit of salt, lessen the salt, but squeeze some lemons and stuff, some lime in it. That kind of balance, the citrus with a little bit of salt is going to make it taste saltier. It amplifies the taste. You know what I'm saying?
Write this down. Some lady told me, I think she said like daffodil or something is like it got like a lemon taste to it. One of the weeds.
Maybe I don't know, but I know that squeezing, like if you're dealing with salads and you put too much salt in your salad, put much less, but then let the lemon and the lime, squeeze lemon and lime, activate it. You know what I'm saying? If you make your own vinaigrette, you know, that's a secret to getting it tasty without being too salty.
Yeah, I got to ask you a question about may I ask you a question about the math? And
Anything.
the alphabet too.
Absolutely.
So if like you know how it's like 24 letters, so the
26.
26. Is the alphabet? They don't got nothing to do with the math, right?
No, it has everything to do with the math. That's why each letter you learn, 1 is A, Allah, right? 2 is B. They're all linked with the math. Like Q is the letter, Q is queen, the 17th letter, right? But the queen is what? The black woman that acknowledges God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? She acknowledges God. It's the same as knowledge in herself. She can build. She knows herself as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the alphabet is an application, is literally an application of the supreme mathematics to the English alphabet.
I can see it now.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. You know. Listen, everybody, I'm gonna be here to the build hour, 8:00. So anything that you want to ask me, ask me. I'm just talking about things randomly, you know, as we get into the summer. I don't know if everybody was building up their body, if they're ready for the summer, you know. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I see the question, God. You said, King, that there a particular fat that will help flatten the stomach. I ain't doing no sit-ups. The first thing I'm gonna say, King, and I know you're not gonna like it, but you gotta do some work. You know, like people say like you can't get abs if you only do ab work or something, like, you know, like you can't pinpoint muscles. That's true and not. When I do ab work, I'm not doing it to get the abs. I'm doing it to make them bigger, the muscle. I'm doing it so I could absorb punches. I'm doing it so I could feel the abs when I move and everything that I'm doing, right? When I do my martial arts, right? And I'm doing Kung Fu. So it's important to activate the muscle. If you want first you want to make the abs strong, because if the abs are strong, when you start to eat properly, like really, really well, they're going to get stronger. So even if you don't do ab work, right, you should have exercise. Like when you're waiting or you're walking, have exercise where you flatten them and you squeeze your abs in. Like even when you're at home, like do that for a little exercise. You watch TV, get up though, and or while you're sitting down, squeeze your stomach in as much as you can. That builds a lot of muscle. You know what I'm saying? And hold it. That's a great isometric exercise. But it's good always to do some kind of ab work. It's just that's the problem with ab work, right? Is that it's hard to find ab work that hits. So sometimes you're doing a lot of repetitions and you're not feeling anything.
I was saying, right? You gotta unlock the fatty acid and then you gotta burn it.
Yeah, I mean, people have like a whole complex thing. I'm trying to keep it simple for everybody, you know, because I always talk about the fat cell and we gotta expose it, then attack it. Listen, just eat the right and exact foods. If you're dealing with fats, have the right amount of fats. You know, you have a salad, throw some avocados in there. You know, these are the good fats. If you're cooking, I cook with avocado oil only. You know, they sell it more now. It's a great oil. It's high heat oil, so it could stand like when you heat things. When you're cooking, don't burn everything. That causes the things to be fried. No matter, even you people think they're sautéing stuff, but they're causing the same problem, right? They're drenching things in oil. They're sautéing forever. You're just basically frying stuff on a light fry. So the avocado oil in your salads, put the olive oil. You know, these are the two main oils I use. There's no real other oils I'm using. I don't need to. If you add other oils, coconut oil is a good cooking oil. And it's a great oil for everything. Topically or body-wise. You know what I'm saying? It's great. you know. But yeah, God, you're gonna have to do something, right? Because when we work out, we use everything. So when you flex the ab, like, God, I know, King, you got like back problems and there's things in your back. You can strengthen your back by strengthening your abs. So you, like, let's say ab exercises always hurt the back. They work the back. But if you're doing the isometric one, I said, you're standing or sitting and squeezing your stomach in and just holding it as strong as possible. You're doing that for a certain amount of time, though. That builds up a muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Could we better be like lean on the wall so straight?
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. You just learn to carry yourself straight. And but you could lean if you're not really used to standing perfectly straight. But you start with the isometric, not moving exercises. You know, because most of the ab workouts are gonna what? Squeeze your abs. Unless you lie down on the floor and you start doing stiff leg lifts, then your back will be stable, and those are good too, and they'll help the lower back, the lower abs, which is always hard to get, right? But the key is you want your abs to be strong. You know, like I don't have perfect abs. You could see my abs, but I don't have them like like these guys on TV and models and stuff. But my abs could take a punch. I feel my abs when I move though, and my muscle is very thick, so I know it's there. That's the most important thing to get first when you do it. You know, let all that other stuff work itself out. You know what I'm saying? And if you look good in your clothes, then you're making a step up. You know what I'm saying? That's really the goal. You know, and you get to the point where you're good, where you can take your shirt off. You know, and you're good. But yeah, you can't just flatten your stomach by getting the magical fat, or it's got to be a combination of things, because the abs are a reflection of your whole diet. You know what I'm saying? And also of your aerobic and muscular ability, you know? So all of that counts though, you know? If you're lifting weights though, you lift heavy weights, light weights, and you do an intense workout, that's going to help burn fat all the time. Exercises I don't advocate if you don't work out that much and you don't waste your time jogging. It's better to walk. Like I've cut mad fat and I've gotten more cut up just with the work I do because I'm in Staten Island and at work I go to schools in 3 different boroughs. Some days I'm going to 2 different schools in 2 different boroughs. You know what I'm saying? And so during the day, regularly on certain days, I might be walking over 4.5 miles because I have a pedometer, it says. And on a regular day that's not that bad, I'm still walking 3 miles. That does a lot for you. So if you have like time and you just want to think about stuff, take a walk. Go in the park and go into the park and smell the greenery. The smells of grass, the smell of cut grass, all this stuff is extremely healthy for the body. You know what I mean? Extremely healthy. So all of this stuff changes the way your mentality, but you got to do some ab workout. If you don't want to use your back, then no. If you do use your back, I put resistance bands and clip them, right? Because they come with the hook on the top of the door.
I think I got the ones that were just like.
They all come, when you buy them in a set, they come with like a hook that you could put them in and then you could put them in the door. Or you could put them under the door.
I think I like the half one. Like, not the half one.
Okay. If you buy a set that has handles,
yeah,
you know, those will cost you like $30. They come with like 5 different thicknesses and intensities. I put them on the door, right? This allows me to do all types of things. But with the abs, I can get on my knees and I can do ab pull downs, where you keep your arms as stiff as possible and you're letting the ab pull down. That works. That's the same thing as the machine that pulls down. Those really work. So you can make your own stuff. Like I said, I've always had a home gym, so I'm always creative with it. You know? But yeah, King, there ain't no magic fat. But stick to coconut oil and avocado oil cooking. Do not cook with olive oil. Okay? Do not cook with olive oil. When I make spaghetti for my daughter, after the spaghettis are actually boiled, I put them on a pan and mix all the ingredients. The pan is never on. It's just the heat of the spaghetti already. Then I put the oil on. So I'm never cooking oil. Never cooking oil. You know what I'm saying? Olive oil. But you want it to taste like olive oil. That's, gives it more of a Italian flavor, I guess, mock up Italian flavor as best we can. But You want to use olive oil for dressing. That's a very good fat. You know what I'm saying? I use it liberally though, and I haven't. With everything is right and exact, it actually really adds on. You know. Oh, that's Peace King. I see all the books laid out. Looking pretty. Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? That's crazy. This year, if my schedule is correct, that 2 more should come out. Definitely 1 more. So that'll be 10. At least 9. Right? But peace to I God Master. That's right, 7930. Get that fresh grass, man. It really clears up your like when I have time, I train, and thankfully I'm in Staten Island, so I train in a place where like there's a lot of elderly. So the fort where I train, Fort Wadsworth, not a lot of people really be doing heavy workouts there. You know what I mean? So I have a special spot for myself on a hill. I could do sprints on the hill, but there's also a big grass field that has a great hill. It's great to do sprints on a hill, a grass hill. The grass will cushion your feet, but the grass also makes it harder to climb. Do sprints. All that jogging stuff, you want to burn fat, walk to a grass field or anywhere you could run and do sprints. A quick sprint. Do 5 quick sprints as best as you can. You go as fast as you can and try to be a feel for your body. When you feel it like about to break, you keep to right the level below. You go in as intense as possible. That's when you really start to burn the fat and really get in shape. You know? Right? When people jog for a long time, man, you have to have perfect form not to mess up your legs, but you can do it. But what happens is you start burning a lot of muscle along with fat, and that's why marathoners they look scrawny. You know what I mean? That's really why. Can't replenish all that. I have gotten more by walking the mile to my training site than jogging to it. But I always do sprints on the hills. It's the best. Yeah, we got to get into all this stuff now that we have the heat and everything. Y'all should be training in the cold of winter and everything. Get yourself tough. Your immune system is stronger when you work out in the cold than if you avoid the cold at all costs. You know what I mean? Right? So, you get used to training in the cold and working out in the cold, it'll actually do better for you. CIYs, peace to God. I God Master, peace. Any questions, anything? I'm here another half hour, okay? We want to make everything supreme. Not only going to delve into all types of creation as being creators, but we should expect ourselves to be supreme. You see some flaw when you're doing, you should be saying to yourself, I'm the supreme being. That means that there is a quest for this answer, and I'm going to find it. Got to find it. Going to find all these answers. You know what I'm saying?
I was reading on the back, and then I was reading the other one. I was talking about like basically everything you were saying now too, but it also said that if how do you get students if they want to train too in martial arts?
Well, all the stuff I gave you, I know I gave you plus lessons, all those plus lessons I wrote. The training though, everybody that trains with me, the only difference, I don't train here, but if I train with you, you got to take the trip up to Fort Wadsworth. It'll be worth your while though. I'm going to train you, and you don't have to come every single week because I'm going to give you stuff that you're going to work on. Okay? And people got to pay. So the rate is cheap for guys that I build with. It's higher for people that's 85, you know, that I don't know them, you know. But usually when I'm training, it'll be on the weekends. It'll be a Saturday or Sunday morning around 10 a.m., right? And we'll train for about 2 hours. So I really get it in with everybody. They get their full money's worth, whatever money they're given. You know what I mean? And when you do that, then we train. But I don't just train people just to get the knowledge. Though. You have to show and prove certain things. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to be training people. That's why people got to pay me, because there's other things I'd be making money with at that time. But I got to know that you're going to use this to be righteous with. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see certain things, you know? And I know, you know, certain things I'll do with the person and stuff, you know? But it's an investment. When I learned, I took travel just like that because I was living in Brooklyn.
Nah, I just feel like it would be good for like my character for really understand the principles of discipline.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. You know? Okay. Offline, I give you the rate and everything because it's different for people that aren't with the knowledge and those with, you know. But see how you said you built a little earlier in the alphabets B in the application of the mathematics. Do you see the jewels fitting into that program? If so, why? How? I don't. I don't. The 12 jewels. Many people are building, like, you know, Riz is the most famous for having really great builds on the 12 jewels, but the 12 jewels don't really go with Supreme Math. You know what I'm saying? They don't go directly with Supreme Math the way I see it, and I don't know if I see rewards in life. So I don't know if I even bear witness to that concept. I don't that you would get jewels. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're essentially in that order. I don't know if I see it that those are it. That those are the only things. You know what I'm saying? And even some of them, like happiness and stuff, they have a lot for interpretation. And I don't know what the person that made that plus lesson, because the 12 Jewels is a plus lesson. It is not something the Father gave us. Gave us Supreme Math Alphabet, 120 lessons he gave us from the mosque, NOI. And he changed certain degrees to fit our understanding and not the mysterious one. So 12 Jewels is a plus lesson that was added on. And I see its worth, but it's not something that, you know, is required. For me personally, it's not something that pops up in my head when I think about things. I personally don't see the associations in my daily life, though. Even as I say that and say that I think Riz's builds on it are immaculate, and the way that he sees it daily is great to me. But I just don't. I'm not really a person that sees rewards. You know, it's just like the Supreme Mathematic Awards that's supposed to happen. I think it's definitely a Thursday, June 6th. I don't forget about the certain people that are on the flyer for it. I don't, whatever. But I don't see this as something to get a reward from, you know? Well, we were given something that the whole world kept from us, though. You cannot give me a better reward than that. You know what I'm saying? So, but us getting awards for 5%ers, I had told the God, because I was asked to host it, and I said no, and certainly not on a Thursday, you know. But I said no only because I'm very weary of awards and stuff. You know what I mean? For us, it's 5%. So I shouldn't get an award for teaching you something that you deserve, that you took the time here to learn and everything, and use and stuff. So that people that gave it to me took hours. You add all the elders I built with those hundreds of hours. You know, there's no way I could repay that. You know what I mean? There's no way I could repay it. And when I do, though, it's doing this. So it's all balance, right? It's all the balance, you know? So the 12 jewels is kind of written that way, like rewards that you get in life, you know? The 12 jewels are knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, freedom, justice, equality. I forget. My mind is being a jerk right now.
Sounds like the same as the Supreme Math, except they added more.
Yeah, it's just used differently, you know. Freedom, justice, equality, love, peace, and freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and happiness. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So it's knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, happiness. Right?
What happened to God?
But it's not mathematics. It's 12 jewels.
Mm.
It's supposed to be the rewards that you get with dealing with this. So your reward is knowledge. Your reward is wisdom. But I don't see wisdom as a reward because wisdom is something that is worked at. You cannot be given wisdom. How are you rewarded with wisdom? So I don't know. You know, and when you wisdom things, you know, I don't know. It's awkward to me the way my mentality is. And again, I also think that I've always loved the way RZA built on it. In his book, The Tao Wu, in the interviews he's been on, you know, I love it, but it just doesn't resonate with me that way. So that's why you don't see me teach it like that or use it, you know. Love, peace, and happiness, though, you know. I don't see love and peace. Peace absolutely is a state that I keep things in, that we bring things to at all times. But love, though, I consider not a reward. I consider love, though, the endless state of being that we are in. Peace is what we bring to the cipher, but love is actually the state of being that we are always in. You see? Somebody says, wait, how is that so? I'm here. There's only one thing that you're getting, God. There's only one thing you're getting, love from me. That's it. You're only getting the care, the sincerity, the intention to share something that's right, and for you to do something with that. That's supposed to be our constant state. And that's why I remember that when people try to draw you up and turn you into something other than yourself. No one, I say this to my children all the time, no one has the right to draw you up. You get angry though, no one has the right to make you angry. Your mistakes or what you are doing wrong don't even have the right to make you angry. Because when you get angry about something you're doing, I often catch myself very quickly and say, listen, I'm getting angry and it's wasting my own energy to resolve the matter properly. Great book on anger is by Thich Nhat Hanh, the great philosopher. Thich Nhat Hanh. You know, he writes about anger and a book on anger. He has many books and his anger book is very good. You know, I have it if anybody's interested in it. I can email it to you. You know, Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the great modern philosophers, died only like a handful of years ago. I think in the 2010s or something. So he's a philosopher of the modern era, of this era. One of the great Buddhists, you know. One of his great teachings that he really explained so well was among many, was this idea of mindfulness with everything. You know, like when you're eating, be mindful of the food, the way it feels, you know. When you're walking, like you got Jordan's walk, how does every step feel as you walking? A lot of times we don't have time. We're rushing this and that. But every now and then, like, yo, feel everything, right?
That's crazy because I was thinking about that when you were saying instead of just like jogging, walk.
Right.
I'm thinking when you walk
and when they walk, that's also part of the exercise. Mindfulness walking. Be mindful of the walk. That's what I said. Appreciate the nature. Appreciate nature. You know what I'm saying? There's less and less of it, so appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It really is a beautiful thing. You know, I appreciate everything. I walk through nature, train in nature. When I take the ferry every day, and I always take a moment to just breathe in the sea air. It's a little bit deeper. You know, the water, that freshness that the water has. You know, everything bad can hurt you. Then realize that everything that is good for you is doing something for you. You smell people's mowing the lawn, smell that, put that breath in. You know what I'm saying? Be cognizant also of everything good for you. Because the good could do more to outweigh the bad if you just let it, though. That's why the mindfulness is important, though. Mindfulness is important. You know? Yes. Yeah. Email me. I have that book digitally. So when I say I have the book to give it to you, I mean I have it digitally. I have a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh books. I've read a lot of his books and a lot of them, you know, and take that time. Like, yo, I very, very rarely eat meals on the run. I cannot remember the last time I ate a meal on the run. And mind you, I told you my job, I work and I'm teaching kids martial arts often, among other things. So it's very physical and I have to go from school to school. I don't have time to sit down and eat a meal because I got to get active immediately after. I won't eat a meal all day. I eat a meal in the morning and still make sure that for those moments, I'm mindful in those moments. I'll even wake up early. So I wake up very early and train, leave extra time to eat and do my best to be mindful. When I get home, very light meal, just maybe some nuts and seeds, but a lot of fruit. Be very mindful. I made the day. I completed this day of work. What else can I do? If I still have energy to do more work, I'm mindful. You know what I'm saying? Always mindful. You know what I'm saying? Always focused. You know what I'm saying? So it's no. Let me get the spelling for you because if you spell it phonetically, it absolutely will not go. Right? So it's Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay. Hate that it's not capitalized. Yeah, he returned very 2022. He returned 2022. So
Right there.
yeah. And look, of his books here, Anger is there. But I've read a lot of them. The Heart Sutra, his book, The Heart Sutra, I read that book once every year. So it's a excellent read.
Those two books you sent me, the mindfulness and then I think the honorable message.
I sent you Message to the Black Man.
Mm-hmm.
Essential to start learning Elijah Muhammad, who basically is the one who answers everything in the 120 lessons. So you need to know his dialect, the way he speaks, everything. And the insights he has is crucial. I think I sent you As a Man Thinketh. Though. So you want to take your time with that. Very short book, very heavy book. All right, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Did I get... All right, let me know. Let me know any questions. You too, Claudio. Right? As you're also developing, you start thinking like, yo, you don't have a righteous name yet as you're dealing with this as a newborn. Start thinking of principles, ideals that mean something to you, you know? Like, what are the ideals you most want to be associated with? What defines you? What do you want to define you? All these things are to be taken into account.
Can I ask what your name is?
My name is Sunez Allah, right? And I use the acronym from the Supreme Alphabet. So it's Savior of the Universe Now, shows and proves the equality of zigzag zig, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding is 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3, or 1 times 2 times 3 always equals 6. Equality. Now, I had made that name up. Savior of the Universe Now shows and proves the equality of zigzag zig. And I didn't know that equation. Firstborn Prince walked up to the board, wrote my name, and wrote 6 equals 1 plus 2 plus 3 because somebody was saying, "Oh, his name sounds Spanish. It's not right exact," and he put that on the board, and they shut the hell up. You know what I mean?
Word. So that it was like because you used the mathematics.
I just understood that principle. The way I saw it was that knowledge, wisdom, understanding are what we're sharing, and I'm bringing that to its fullest equality. I'm bringing it equally to everyone. That's how I meant it when I made the name. And Firstborn Prince even added on to the depth of my name by showing me that. But
That's like proof right there to show that the
math is right, exact.
That's right, yeah.
And the short way is Sunez Allah, Sunez Allah. Damn, can't find my man P, man. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? I'm here for another couple of minutes. Okay, it's almost 8 o'clock. You know, again, email me if you want these books and stuff. It's important to start collecting a digital library now. All right. Malik, I'm about to get out of here. I got your email, your new email address. Okay, so anything you need, God, let me know. Okay. I'm catching up with a lot of work though. Bear with me. I'm very busy this month and next month, but it should lighten up. It probably won't, but I will catch up to everything, you know. So feel free to throw things back at me repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? And we get everything done. All right. By the way, if anybody wants like books though to read and everything, get these apps, the Google Book eBooks app, especially. That's mainly where I'm going to send you stuff, and put it on your phone, get it on your laptop, and I will send you these books, and you can upload them through the laptop onto the app and have a great collection. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to wait. Malik is always asking me for books. You know what I'm saying? And there's a couple I got to get too, but you know I haven't gotten yet. You know, a couple of new ones. But we ought to have huge libraries. We ought to be having things to access information, all that kind of stuff. And right now, part of this classroom is my access to information that I have. You know, not just me, but the works that I have. You know, the books and the library, along with my whatever works I have and whatever I can share. Right? See, a lot of people, I went through health and stuff, and I think I'll be going through a little bit every time now in the hotter months, because people think like it's too late to work out and stuff. And it's like, nah, this is when you can start as well, because you could work out outside. it's easier to start because it's warmer. So this could be your starting point. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff about it's too hot when it gets too hot to work out. That's bullshit. Wake up in the morning. Wake up in the morning when it's still in the 70s. If it reaches 80s, 90s and stuff, you're still good. You know what I mean? Oh, I know. Yeah, God. What is the prescribed law of Islam? The said person had that ability. It's why I don't like that degree, Malik, because it'd be too religious. The civilized is held responsible for the uncivilized and must be punished by the nation of Islam. In my notes, I always wrote down, this is a religious warning. I could never get into this degree. In a mix of degrees that are some of my favorite, especially the knowledge build degree. Prescribed means that somebody gave this law and they applied it to individuals. That law is applied once you become able to share, able to teach. You know what I'm saying? I do have that. I have to look that up. That's in the bin, but I have that 793rd. Right? And the laws, the prescribed law is not the same thing. It has nothing to do with Yaqub. That has to do with the duty of the righteous, though. Those degrees are about the righteous, though, the teens. When we get into the wisdom cipher degrees deeper, once we get past the founder of Unlike a Track, then we are introducing Yaqub. Okay, so that has nothing to do with Yaqub. That has to do with the righteousness and the application. It's a good question. But we get into Yaqub territory from 21 on, right? Right, so. Teaching the right way in righteousness, though, is not prescribed by Yaqub. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't what he was prescribing. He was manipulating it, not prescribing. All right? So with that said, I'm going to let y'all go. Been here about an hour and a half, as I said I would. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all that stuff about Google Drive. If I send you a book that is too big to file, I'm going to send it to you as a WeTransfer link. Don't use Google Drive. It's a pain in the ass. WeTransfer link. Not all that Google Drive stuff. Nah, it's not enforced, though, God. It's not enforced. You know what I'm saying? Especially the understanding for us, though. You don't do your duty to teach, though. That's enforced by the failure of those that are not taught. It's their own failure. Yeah, so that's not So the punishment by the Nation of Islam is not the same as the punishment by Yaqub. The punishment for not doing your duty to teach, though, is that there is more ignorance, though, that you could fall victim to. You know what I'm saying? More possible devilishment, more weakness that leads to weakness that now surrounds you, whether indirectly or even directly. That is your responsibility. You are at fault now for that, too. So you are not to blame entirely, but you are at fault for some of it, like Confucius used to say. So that's what that means. It reads so religiously, I hate it, though. So I could never give it an understanding like you'll be punished by someone. I'm teaching y'all the knowledge, though. I'm giving a lot of you, I teach the knowledge. I'm not walking around in your house, though, to punish you when you don't teach it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that. You know? All right? So, hope that makes sense. All right, so I will see you all next week. Before we will build, if you contact me. All right? All right, peace to the gods, peace to the earth, peace to all everyone that was civilized enough and sincere and well-meaning and sharing of their own time to take time to do the knowledge test. All right, until next time. Peace.